How are you? My name is Christina. I am the owner at West of 100 Interiors, which is a Pinterest management strategy company. I help business women who really want to use Pinterest learn it and learn it to that they can feel empowered to really use these skills and these tactics to grow their account online, to gain that online visibility, to generate those leads, and to make those sales. Now, I know everybody really wants to start using Pinterest, and I think that is amazing. And it makes me so happy. But not a lot of people really know or even understand how they can use Pinterest and what steps that they can take to actually start growing their account. So I have 10 tips. I'm going to run through them super, super fast. Further detail for these tips will be in this post, but I want to give you these actionable tips that you can start using as of right now. The very first thing I want you to do is make sure that you have a clear message and you know specifically who you are targeting and who your target market is. This is so important. A lot of people, when they start their business, they are more so of a generalist and they will work with a bunch of people, but it's so important to know who your target market is so you can speak to their pain points. So if you know who your target market is, all the better. Niche down. You will always hear people say niche down and really use the language that they use and be very, very clear. The second thing that I would suggest to you is if you're on a personal account, a personal Pinterest account, please convert it to a business account because when you do this, you gain so much insights on the back end of Pinterest on who your audience is and what their affinity interests are. Now, affinity interests are what are the specific areas that of topics that you curate on your on your business account, the Pinterest business account that speaks directly to them. So you're going to get a bunch of insights, and these insights are so important, and you don't get that with the personal account. So it's so important to make sure that you make that switch to a business account if you are acting as a business. The third thing I suggest to you is to pin relevant content. So after you make that switch from a personal account to a business account, it's best that you start pinning content that is in relation to your niche. Now, for me, I used to be a home decor blogger, and I have transitioned now into Pinterest marketing. Now, I no longer pin content that is from home decor because I don't want to confuse the Pinterest app. I want Pinterest to know specifically now that this is the type of content that I produce and this is the market of people that I want to attract. I don't want to confuse Pinterest. And when Pinterest is confused, it will not show your content to the right people. So you have to make sure that when you're pinning content now in relation to your niche, you're pinning it so specific over time that it will index the right content to the right people so they can be more drawn to your account. Number 4 is you really want to clean up your boards. You really want to then turn the boards that you no longer pin active content about into a secret board. Okay, so same example for me, the boards that I had for home decor, I'm going to turn them secret. Now, if you go into the back end of your boards, there's a little toggle and you can turn that off. And turn it on, and that will turn that board secret. It will no longer be active on your main Pinterest account if somebody was to come across your profile. So clean up your boards, make sure that they are no longer actively on your account profile. Because like I said, you don't want to confuse the Pinterest app and you don't want to confuse the people who come across your account. Number 5 is you then want, once you clean up your Pinterest boards, you want to now start to follow people in your niche. Now, when you start following people in your niche, once again, you're going to signal to the Pinterest app, this is the direction that I am going in. And these are the type of people that I want drawn my way. So I want people that are now in the business realm, who are coaches, who are creatives. You want to signal that to Pinterest that this is the type of content that you produce, like I said, and these are the type of individuals that you want Pinterest to potentially show your content to. Not only when you start following people in your niche, what to signal to Pinterest, what it will also do is the new people that you discover and they see your account and they see your profile, that will help that they will start to follow you. And when they follow you and start pinning your content to their boards, they then show your content to their audience members. So your reach then expands. So that's why it's so, so, so important to follow people in your niche, because that will help that they follow you back so your content can be seen in their home feed. Now, not a lot of people do this, but this is my tip number 6. Not a lot of people do this. And I suggest if you find a piece of content that you really, really like, I suggest that you comment on that pin. I like to go, if I see a particular topic that I find interesting, I will read the blog post. If I find the blog post super informative, I will definitely pin it to my board, but I will leave a comment on that pin. And that's once again signals to Pinterest, hey, I really like this type of content. These are the type of people that I want to, attract onto my Pinterest account, and it will help signal to the person that you like their information. They will more likely follow you and start commenting on your pins too. So, like again, not a lot of people do this, but try it out and see because that helps to increase your engagement. Number 7 is be consistent. Now, consistency is so hard for everyone, especially in the social media realm. You really do have to feed the algorithm and be present on the platform. But pinning 15 to 25 pins a day is very difficult. We all have jobs, we all have families, we all have other responsibilities. So the best way to be consistent on Pinterest is to use a Pinterest approved scheduler, and that is called Tailwind. Now, I cannot do my business without Tailwind. I use it for my own self. I use it for my clients. It's fantastic. You upload all your pin content, not just your pins, but other people's pins into this Pinterest approved scheduler, and Tailwind will go into the back end and find the data from your Pinterest account, from your audience, and it will then schedule your pins out for you at the most optimal times that your audience is on. Like, it's a game changer. So I definitely suggest being consistent and using Tailwind to help you with that because consistency feeds the Pinterest algorithm. Number 8 is make sure that you are using keywords in your profile name, your profile description, your Pinterest boards, your pin descriptions, all over your Pinterest account. Everything that you do on Pinterest, you make sure you use keywords. Now, keywords are very similar to what you do when you're blogging and you're finding SEO content or SEO words that your audience is looking for. These are like their pain points. How do I blow dry my hair? Or how do I cure oily hair? So these are the pain points, and these are the particular keyword content that you need to do really, really good research on. There's a ton of ways that you could do keyword research, but you need to make sure that every piece of item that you put out, blog posts, pin designs or pin descriptions, pin titles, you are adding these keywords everywhere to your profile name. Put it everywhere because keywords are what really run Pinterest. And these are the words that your target audience is looking for to solve their pain points. So keyword research, super, super important. Number 9 is I want you to arrange your Pinterest boards according to engagement. Now, this is something that not a lot of people do as well, but the best thing that you can do for your Pinterest account is to arrange it according to, like I said, engagement. Now, how do you find out what boards are more highly engaged than the other? I like to use Tailwind. Now, Tailwind, like I said before, it's great for scheduling, but Tailwind also gives you even further insights on your Pinterest account and your audience. Now, there's a special feature in Tailwind that you can go to and find out which boards are more heavily active or engaged upon. And then I like to arrange my own account and the accounts of my clients according to that engagement. So if anybody new comes across your account and they see the boards that are most highly engaged, that signals to them, hey, these are the things that my board is most active on, and that will actually help to entice them to actually go into those boards and actually click through the content that is there and potentially pin that into their boards, which will then show your content to their audience. So it's a big cycle. But when you have boards that are highly active and highly engaged and you arrange it according that way, the chances that your new visitors coming across your account, the chances of them seeing those boards and clicking on them are higher. So make sure that you arrange your boards according to engagement. And the very last tip that I want to leave with you is to create amazing Pinterest graphics. Now, Pinterest graphics, Pinterest images, you're going to hear that word interchangeably, but it all means the same. You want to create great pin designs. Now, pin designs are what will stop the scroll. If you have a great graphic that really catches someone's eye, they will see it, they will click on it, they will either save it to their boards or they will click through to your website. Now, it takes a little bit of practice over time to really find out what pin designs are going to be highly favored with your audience, because certain colors will catch a certain person's eye more than the next. So you really have to play around with pin designs. But once you find that unique style that your audience likes, you stick with it, which is part of being consistent. It will really help to pull in more audiences your way. So create great pin graphics. Now, not a lot of people like creating pins, and if that is not you, then make sure you outsource that to a graphic designer or to a Pinterest strategist that can really help you. I do that my own self, but make sure that you create amazing Pinterest graphics. So these are my 10 tips that can really help to grow your Pinterest account. Now, the tips that I gave you are in no particular order of favor, but these tips will help you, like I said, to grow your Pinterest account. So I'd encourage you to start using one or two or three of these to really change your Pinterest account in a way that is going to help it really pull in the particular audience that you want your way, and to grow your account, get that engagement, generate those leads, and in preference, help those leads then turn into sales. That's what we want. And I want to really make you feel encouraged and empowered that Pinterest is the way to go to build a sustainable business. Now, if you like these tips and more, I'm going to encourage you. There's a download for free. It's my 5-day email course that is going to help you to understand Pinterest and to use it and to feel comfortable with it. It is a free 5-day email course. Every day it will be dripped a new tip and actionable step that you can do to change around your Pinterest account. So download it, you put in your email address, you will get the free 5-day email course straight to your inbox, and then you can just start using the tips right away and to change around your Pinterest account. I encourage you to sign up for my Facebook group. It is a free community. It's called the Cultivated Lounge, free Facebook group. This group is geared for introverted businesswomen, but even if you're not introverted, you can still sign up. We talk about Pinterest all day, every day. I give you tips just like this, what you can do to use to really gear your Pinterest account in the right way. And I also encourage you to follow me on Pinterest and to follow me on Instagram. So all the links are down below for you. So if you continue to like things like this, leave me a comment in this blog post, and then I will continue on to give you more tips to help you feel comfortable with your Pinterest account.